Hey, Mia. Hey, everybody. I'm just admitting people as we come in, so be patient with me for a minute. We've got 20 students in the class. I'm not sure how much time Zoom's going to let me work today. They were saying that I had a 30-minute window because they didn't recognize the WSSU licensing. So I've geared this for just being 30 minutes long, and we should be able to cover everything. If you have any questions after the Zoom meeting, please email me. I'm happy to Zoom meet with any of you if you feel like email alone is not really answering your questions. You need, a little different kind of attention. But for the most part, the painting class is a pretty easy class. It's a good summer class. I've been teaching it for a long time in the summer. It's a more relaxed version than what we do during the regular semester. And there's less time, and I'm not going to have you guys have to like double up trying to get everything done that we'd normally do in the fall or the spring. So there's a few assignments that we won't be doing in this class. So when you see the supply list, you don't have to have any of the canvases. We'll do almost everything out of this lab book that I created for you all. And this is available through the bookstore. I sent a link on how to get them. Sorry, Ambi. Trying to get another student in. So be sure and get this book. And you don't have to buy canvases because all of our work we'll be doing in here. So when you go to do a painting, like say there's one extra credit assignment where we're dealing with cloth. So you would do that assignment on this page right here. And what I can do is if you send it in to me, I can make some remarks down here on how to improve it or how to fix it if it's not solving the problem. There's a lot of information to cover. So I'm just going to break this down into small amounts, and then each couple days we can learn a little bit more. So the first things that I want you to be aware of is the syllabus. The grading, and I can send you all the syllabus. The grading is going to be about completion. And if you get everything completed, that would be an A. For any assignment that's missing, either because it's not completed or you just didn't do it, that will take you down a letter grade. So let's say we have 13 or 14 assignments this summer semester. If you have one missing, that would mean that your highest grade could be a B. 2 missing would be a C. 3 missing would be a D. And so for those of you that have got a lot going on and you're just wanting credit for the class and you just want to get through this, just know that if you get behind and you're only missing 3, you'll still pass the class with a D. But for those of you that are wanting to keep your GPAs as high as possible and you're really wanting to learn a lot about painting and maybe do more painting in the future, you'll want to get everything complete. And if everything is complete, then you have an A. And in an assignment, in here, one of the ways I can tell if it is complete is if you have 12 values in each painting. And by values, I mean different colors. So in this example here, you'll see down below there are 12 different color areas. And all of these color areas exist up here in the painting someplace. And I'll show you how to do this. But for those of you that say only paint this block here in 2 colors, and then that would mean that our result would be you'd only have 11 colors. I say, no, you haven't crossed the finish line on this one. That's not passing. You need to find that next color that's in here. And then you'd go back to the painting and you'd fix it, and then you would pass. And then that would be on your way to an A. So that's how I grade. It's not the best student in the class gets an A, and everybody that's not as artistic, gets a less strong grade than that. So that's pretty much it with the grading. There's no attendance. As long as you can keep up. If you miss one of our Zoom meetings, I don't take off on it. I will record them. I'll share them with you, and that will be the way we'll proceed. If you have any questions about the way I grade, send me an email, and I can give you some more details, and then also be sending you the syllabus. So what I'd like to do to get started is I'd like to make sure that you all are able to get your materials. And I'm going to see if I can share my All right, so hopefully you're seeing my desktop now. And if anybody isn't seeing it, send me a text or a message here so I can fix this. But this is where we'll be working from. We're not actually going to be working on a canvas. So when you go to supplies here, you'll see all of the things that you're going to need. Now, again, those canvases that have been struck through, you don't need those. But you'll need the lab book, and you'll get that through the bookstore, and I'll send you a link on how to get that. You'll need any kind of pencil. Just a regular pencil is fine to draw with, and any kind of eraser is fine. You'll need to get a painting trowel knife, and what this does is it allows you to mix more easily, and you'll waste less paint. Now, there's no way for me to know that you have this or not, but I'll be honest with you, if you try to do all your mixing with a brush or some other implement, you're going to waste a lot of paint, and the paint's kind of expensive, so you don't want to have to buy more paint. So trust me, that trowel knife is about $7, but it's going to be worth it. And then the 5 colors we use, cyan, magenta, yellow, titanium white, and black. These will give you the same results that I talk about. So hold on a second, I got another student going to come in here. All righty. Okay, so these are the 5 colors. If for some reason you are waiting and waiting and waiting and you can't find, this magenta, and they're all available via Amazon, but you can get another kind of magenta. Sorry, my pausing, I'm adding students as we go. But you won't get the exact same results. It's like, for those of you in sports, using a wiffle ball instead of a baseball, it's a ball, I can hit it, but you get different results. So try to get exactly these colors, and you can click on them and they'll take you to Amazon, as well as the brushes right in here. I would get some kind of rag. I'm just using a t-shirt in my demos, so just anything just to wipe off your palette knife or your brushes. And so everything together is going to look something like this, a little something to clean your brushes out with water. Here's a variety of brushes. You don't need a huge number of brushes. Palette knife, pencil, a rag, our lab book, and our 5 colors. So I go over all of this in our tutorials. And so when you click on the tutorial, you'll see that the videos show up. and here's a tutorial on all the materials. So if you came in late or missed some of my discussion about materials, you can just click this and work from here. Now, I would like to try to meet with you all on Monday. And what I'd like for you to do is let me know if 1 o'clock on Monday will work, or if we can change it. But anytime in the afternoon, just wherever I can get the most students available. But I'm just going to give you 2 simple assignments to do between now and Monday. And then we'll move into working with the paint itself. And that'll also give you some more time to get your materials. If you are running behind, you'll be able to catch up. But generally, you can't do more than 1 painting a day. Or if you do, you'll want to tear out the page, because otherwise, when you go to paint in here and then you close the lab book up, the paint's going to act like glue and everything's going to stick together. So generally, try not to double up and try to do more than 1 painting a day. So the first 2 assignments I want you to do is, one is a digital assignment. And what this will do is help you see the different colors. Now, I'm going to jump to Photoshop, and this is where you will be working. And what you'll do is, Photoshop is free for WSSU students. And I have a link on the page that shows you how you can download that. And you'll just use your WSSU login. But what I'm wanting you to do is, like, some of you probably can see that there's 12 different values in here or more. But for those of you that have a hard time figuring out, like, what are the different values, what you do is you only use 3 tools. You use an eyedropper tool. And if you hover over the tool, it'll tell you what it is. So here's an eyedropper tool. And what you do is you will eyedrop 3 values on the left wall, the right wall, the floor, and the object. Now, this object's got 4 different values. It's got the top, it's got 1 value here, and it's got 2 values here. Choose whichever one you want. But let's say that we're going to look at the values on the block. So somebody might think that this top is white, but it's actually a gray. And so when I click on this color picker over here, you'll see that here's where that color is. It's not all the way up here at white. It's right here, just down a little bit lower. And I can click in different areas and just watch that same circle move up and down. So it's getting lower, lower, and lower. So those are the different grays that you'll mix to paint this one eventually. But what I want you to do is, I just want you to grab these colors and put them into this block down here below, so you can see how you can get 12 different values. So the other tool you'll use is something called the paint bucket tool, and it's over here on the side. Sorry, I want to say okay to this before I can move on. So the paint bucket tool, if you hover over, it'll say, there it is, paint bucket tool. And what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to drop that color, and the last color I picked was this one right here in the block. That will fill in on that area. So all you have to do is click on it. Then you go back to your paintbrush tool, and what you're going to do is you're going to show where that came from. So you're just going to draw a line from the block to where you got that color. And then you'll go into your eyedropper tool again, and you'll do the top, and you'll use the paint bucket tool, and you'll spill it, and then you'll do your paintbrush tool, and you'll draw where you got it. And then we'll do this side, and like I said, you could do either of those 2 values. So I'm going to do this because it's the larger one. Click it, paint bucket tool, drop it, and then the paintbrush tool where I got it. So I'm a quarter of the way done, and what you'll do is you'll find 3 values on this wall, 3 values on the floor, and 3 values on this wall. And don't worry if your lines get a little sloppy. The goal is so that you see just how many different colors there are on here. And then when you go to paint yours and you're saying, wow, I don't know how I can find 12 different values, go back to this study and you'll be able to see how you were able to get 12 different values, because that's the same. Let me do stop share here. So that's the same as what we have right in here. So, so that's the first assignment. And then the next assignment, go back to share here. Is the sketching assignment. And for the sketching assignment, and I'm going to mute this, what I do is I go through and I just show you how to sketch each one of the objects that we're going to be painting this semester. So this is the first painting that we'll do. This is the achromatic, or the black and white. And so I'll just walk through all the steps and try to show you just, how we put this together, how to get the perspective right, and then also, how we see the cast shadow and how you see the composition around it. So this is the second assignment. You'll do something like this in the page in our lab book. It says perspective. So on this page right here, you're just going to draw out that block. So in short, what I'd like for you to be able to do is to make sure that you can get your materials. If you're slow getting your materials, I'll be patient and I'll wait for you. And your turn-in time can be later. And everything will be graded at the end of the semester. So you'll want to keep up. Don't get behind, because there's no way you can do 10 paintings on the last day. It just won't work. You can't cram for a test here. This is actually making things. And the way I teach it, it takes about an hour and a half to do each one of these paintings. So it should be an easy, one day you sit down and within, 2 hours, you've got the whole class knocked out. So what I'd like for you to do between now and Monday is get your materials, or start to order your materials, do the digital study assignment. There are 5 different digital studies. And then I would like for you to do the sketch assignment, where you sketch out your block. Then on Monday, I'll see if you're having any troubles. I'll help you out with any issues that you have. And I will start you off on mixing paint for the second week. I'm looking at my notes here. So our last class is June 16. We have 30 days, and we have roughly, 14 assignments. So that means just about every other day you've got, an assignment to do. And that's pretty easy. And students tell me that this is a very contemplative, it's a very relaxing experience. So doing the painting's not very stressful. So hopefully you'll enjoy it. Every single one of the assignments has both a classroom explanation and video, which is more informal. I am talking a little bit more like I'm talking right now. And then there's the assignment tutorial, the assignment video, where I'm very meticulous and I go through absolutely every single step. Don't feel like you have to watch every minute of the tutorial. You can scrub through those, and when you see that there's a tutorial that's like 45 minutes long, don't let that scare you off from it. Just scrub through, pushing the video forward, and kind of see the steps. And if you get into a problem, then just know you can always go back to that video and look at that spot where I'm doing what you're having trouble with, and hopefully it will explain what's going on. Remember, this isn't a class for art majors. So no one should feel stressed about doing, art major level work. But I do want you to make sure that you cross the finish line. So if it's a 100-yard dash, you've got to go 100 yards. You can't go 99. So the race here is 12 different values on each of the major painting assignments. And so I'll be looking for those. How do I grade this? At the end of the semester, I'll ask you to take a picture of each one of your works and email it to me. and then I will be able to look at it and make sure that you've been able to pass each one of the assignments. If you want to send pictures of them to me in advance to make sure that you're doing it the right way, I'm happy to do that too. And it's a good habit just to take pictures of things as you go. Because let's say you go on a trip with your family or friends or whatever, and you leave your lab book and you can't get it back, you'll have to get a new lab book and redo those assignments. But if you took a picture of each one of those, that's all that I need to know that you did it. So as you complete assignments, take pictures of them just in case something happens to them. Something spills on them and ruins, one of the paintings. That's not a problem in that it ruined it if you had a picture of it earlier with it looking correct. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll hang on here and see if anybody has any questions, and just unmute and you can ask me. I'll follow up with an email afterwards, and then I'll share this recording with those students that just added the class today or had a conflict and weren't able to meet today. And I will try to meet with you all on Monday, the same time, 1 o'clock. Okay, so if you missed any of the beginning of this presentation, or if you have any further questions, just unmute and ask me questions. And for the rest of you that feel like I got this, I'll talk to you on Monday. All right?
So, like, if we can't find one of the colors, like the yellow, I went to Michael's and I couldn't find it. Like, you said we could substitute for another color, yellow?
At a last resort, if you can get it through Amazon, even if that puts you, a couple days late, don't pay for shipping. If it takes, 5 days for it to get to you, I can wait for you. But you will get the exact same color. What that yellow is it's a neutral yellow. And by that I mean it will give you a good green and it will give you a good orange. Sometimes the yellows are too warm. They're more like an egg yolk yellow, and they'll give you a great orange, but they'll give you a really ugly green. Now, if you have no other choice, then try to get the most neutral yellow you can and try to find one that is as close to that yellow that I'm asking for. But these colors are the same colors that are in your printer. I don't know if you noticed that. And they are the best to get every color possible. Some colors don't allow that. So try to get the exact same color. If it looks like it's just going to, cramp up your calendar too much, then go and try to find something else. But just realize your colors will be slightly different. But I will be looking for 12 different values. And even if your colors don't match the colors that I have in my demo, I'll still be able to give you credit because, that's the color that you're working with.
Understood. Thank you.
Sure. Any other questions? All right, everybody. So find the website, go to the introduction video, and I'll include all these in an email follow-up. And just take a look at some of the videos, help prepare yourself for what we're doing, get your materials, do the digital studies and email those to me, and then do your sketch of the box that's in the lab book. I realize that you're going to have to get these things delivered to you from the bookstore. So things may go a little slow in the beginning, and I'm totally cool with, waiting until you get them. But go ahead and do your ordering today. That way it will get here as soon as possible. All right. I'll check back in with you all on Monday and see how far we've gotten, and I'll talk a little bit more about the class. This is a crazy time. I've never taught this way before. I'm really hands-on, so hopefully these videos will help you all. All right. Enjoy your summer too, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody.